Welcome back to the Kings of Houston. Talking all things royal with me as ever is the King himself, Steve Firth. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm good, Sam. How are you doing? I'm just trying to stay dry. I'm back in the concession stand today because we've got apocalyptic rain outside. So
Yeah, well,
how's the weather doing in the UK?
weather's doing well. Today's pretty similar to what you're saying in Houston. We haven't had the rain, we've got a bit of cloud, but we've had a 3 week heat wave. But considering you've just gone down to the summer training program, it's not looking very much like summer. But
No, it's definitely not.
we'll get cracking anyway, and we'll start briefly with the women. Even though we didn't have any games last week, they do have a very important playoff match coming up next week. So, Steve, if you want to tell us a little bit about that, and because we know the opponents, we know the day, we know where it's at, just share that with us.
Yeah. So obviously with this year, normally what would happen on the women's side, there'd be a playoff game, and then it would go to like a regional or national. With COVID protocols at the start of the year, they decided for this region that they were going to keep us separate and just play a championship game within the region. So it's basically the North versus South conference winners for the championship, which would be ourselves versus Tulsa. And we happen to own the game this year, so it will be at our home field. So it'll be at Canberra Road Sports Park. We've set the date, which is the 17th. It's a Saturday, so the 17th of July at 7 p.m. So Tulsa will be coming down. So we're excited. The girls get a little bit of a break now. Obviously, some of them have got some college duties to go back and deal with, but we'll hopefully get a lot of those girls back in. And yeah, we've set the date. They're having a week off. They'll be back into training next week, and we'll be ready and raring to go. So we'll talk a little bit more about it next week. Sam, we're coming up with some ideas for what we're doing on the day. Hopefully, we're going to open up a little bit earlier and encourage people to come and tailgate. We'll open up the concessions a lot earlier. We'll allow the kids to come in and play some pickup soccer, and we'll do some different things. We're going to try and get some food in and some different ideas. So we want to make it like an afternoon and an evening thing where people can come and enjoy themselves, and we can get a lot of people involved in it, and we can celebrate our women doing a great job and playing in the final and hopefully winning.
Exactly. They've had a fantastic season. And but you said they're playing Tulsa. Wasn't that the team they played in the last playoff game a couple of years back? And they won a bit of revenge, weren't they?
It was, yeah. We had to go to Oklahoma and play that game, and we lost. So this is a little bit of a redemption game as well. So yeah, so it's a little bit to it. So, and obviously with them having such a great season and winning every game, only conceding a one goal, I think they want to finish off strong. So
exactly. And just for you guys out there, just keep an eye on the social medias and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for any news about the game, because like Steve's just said, there's going to be lots of events going on. We're going to try and get food trucks down, and we'll give more details to that next week on next week's show.
exactly.
We're going to move on to obviously the men, who did have two very important games last week, and start off the action with a 2-1 defeat on the road to Round Rock, which was kind of disappointing after beating the city rivals Houston FC and trying to get back on track for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a bit of a up and down roller coaster with the men at the moment. They like you said, they played that Houston FC game and got themselves a win. Went to Round Rock knowing that we really needed a win, and went there with that positivity and did a good job in possession of the ball and kept it. Had lots of chances to score. We're probably the better team. Conceded a couple of sloppy goals. I think a penalty and a set play. That led to a loss that. We weren't overlooking Round Rock, I don't think, but I think that we knew that was an important game. So you kind of get to that game and you lose, and you go off. That's probably season over. Two very difficult games to go away and play after that before we come home against Brazos Valley, and that's probably us kind of out the playoffs. And then they go out on the weekend and go down to Corpus and pull out a 5-3 victory. And things start clicking a little bit, and the goals start going in, and you know what it's like when the momentum's going your way and you've been a bit more positive and the goals are going in, they kind of flow, and that's kind of what we've expected of the men who are capable of this season. And I've kind of fallen short at times, but there's they put a younger team out there, played really well, and came away with a win, and now they're about to set off. I think today at 12, they're about to set off to Mississippi and for the game on Wednesday. And who knows? It's still alive. The dream is still alive, Sam.
Exactly. We've just like you, I've got a bit of playoff fever as well, to be honest with you. But the one thing is, why do you think the men have been so inconsistent after a promising start to the season? I know they've had a few injury issues and all that, but obviously it's the business end of the season. Performances sometimes go out the window, really. They need to just get the results.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things. I think it's sometimes it's just momentum. And I think that, when you're winning a game and you end up tying it, or you've got a point and you end up losing it, I think it's just a momentum thing, and it puts that doubt in people's mind. It stops our creative players being as creative as they can be, and they're trying to keep things maybe a little bit more simple than gambling and going for a goal. I think that when you concede goals, I think your defense, leaks a little bit, and your goalkeeper, and there's a little bit of lack of confidence again. So I think that's a little bit of it. And I think from a tactical side, I think that they've maybe chopped and changed too much at times, changed formations, changed personnel. And it's difficult when you're doing that constantly due to injuries or just due to down to the tactics, I think it's very difficult to gain any sort of consistency and start to learn, how to play with people around you and understand what they're going to do on the ball. So I think this last couple of games have kind of settled a little bit more on a style, on a formation, and on a personnel. And now you're starting to see them kind of put it all together.
Yeah, and like I say, obviously the Cobblers game was quite an enthralling match. I mean, 5 goals to 3. It's like you'll score 1, we'll score 2, pretty much. I saw one of the goals went in directly from a corner by the looks of it. As well as the quality on the field, you also need a bit of luck, don't you, Steve, to kind of push you over the edge and get across that line.
Yeah, of course you do. I think in any season, it doesn't matter whether it's a league season or a tournament like we're just watching with the Euros. There's always that little bit of a luck here and there that'll get you in. I think once you do get that little bit of luck, you feel as though things are going your way. So, things like that, you get a goal and you go, okay, we snuck one in, we can do this again. And so hopefully, Mississippi is an extremely difficult place to go. Great team, well organized. It's a long travel. It's like everything's against us there. We'll be going with pretty young team, a young roster. So, but never, you play the game for a reason, right? So never second guess it. Go up there and play your game, and let's see what happens.
Exactly. I think almost it might play into our hands going as the underdog. Maybe we might play a bit more freely and express ourselves and go out there and enjoy the occasion. And if we pull off a result, we could have a real big showdown clash in the final regular home game of the season against BVC, where the guys could go into that with confidence about getting a result, especially in front of the home fans.
Yeah, if they can sneak any sort of result away at Mississippi and then come back and the game is on Saturday night, it's on the 10th, so it's on this Saturday coming up, and that could be a win and we're in game, which could be huge. So that could have some real implications. So let's see where we're at after this and how other results kind of go our way if they do or they don't, and let's see if we're ready to go and the results important on Saturday. I think no matter what, I think the results important on Saturday, because I think it's important the guys finish strong, finish on a positive note, finish with a performance that the fans can come and watch and be happy about, and maybe set them up to start on the platform of how they want to play for next year. So it's an important game anyway, but let's hope it's got some meaning.
Exactly. And is there going to be a specific theme night for the final home game of the season this weekend, Steve?
Nothing specific. I think we'll do a blew out again, so we'll make it a blew out. Obviously we've got the concessions open, so for all our adults out there, we can come and get some alcohol and whatever else. But nothing specific right now for Saturday, other than let's hope for a nice day, and let's hope we can get a lot of people out here. And let's hope we can put a great performance in, and that we can win a game.
Exactly. If anything, just fingers crossed have some decent weather for these men, because it's been a torrid time at home for the boys. And we'll move on, Steve, to the last topic of the day. We obviously have the STP, which is a summer training program, up and running, which is going to be lots of fun for middle school and high school students to keep fit and develop their soccer skills. Do you want to share anything about the experiences you've seen as the technical director and what to expect from it?
Yeah, it's just the July one's just started. So basically it's 4 days a week. It's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. The boys go from 8 till 9:30 in the morning, and the girls go from 9 till 10:30. So it's for the whole month. So the whole month of July. And you can also sign up for 3 weeks, or you can sign up for the last 2 weeks. So there's options on our website. So it's run by a lot of our Royals and ECNL staff, which is great. So good level of staff. running a lot of the same sort of activities that the Royals are running, and talking about the same sort of ideas and tactics. And you know, good numbers on. We've got about 54, 55 signed up for the July one, so there's still a few spaces available for those that want to join in these next 3 weeks. And it's just a good way to get out there nice and early in the morning, get the kids up, and it's also great to, you know, start off a pre-season, you know, with plenty of touches and some technical work over a month, and ready to go for when the kids come back into their soccer in August. They're kind of sharp and ready to go. So, you know, if you're looking for something to do for the kids in the morning to get them out of bed and get them focused and soccer related, then we're out here at the sports park. It's like I say, it's raining today, Sam, but we've got the turf, so the show must go on. So, you know, while I'm in here keeping dry, they're out there, you know, coaching and training. But, you know, we can get that going and keep that on. And then whenever the Royals are in, the cool thing is that whenever the Royals are in and the training, like the women will start coming back in next week. So, you know, these girls will get to train on the same field as the women and do some of the same things the women are doing, and get to meet them and sometimes join in. Same with the boys. The boys will get to see the men train and come out. And so it's a nice way to tie the youth back into the men's and the women's team.